So, you're planning on coming to Pattaya, and I'm guessing if that's part of your plan, you want to cut loose a little bit. And if you've never been here before, you might think that there's only a few places you can do this. Well, you'd be wrong. Now, if you're from the States and you've never been somewhere like, I don't know, Vegas, maybe LA, you might be used to there being, you know, one district in your town where you want to go if you want to go to the club, or maybe you want to go see if you can meet a nice lady. But I'll tell you what, Pattaya is not the case. Depending on what exactly you're looking for, there are plenty of districts here and plenty of different vibes and, you know, price points to help you make a decision. And today I'm going to break down quite a few of the places that I feel like most people miss, and then I'll give you some nitty-gritty on the one that most people do know. So I'll be breaking down a couple places here in Jomtien, as well as mostly Pattaya. That way you can have a better judgment of places that you might like to see if you're planning on moving here and starting a new life, because all these places are different in their own way and they all kind of offer something a little bit different than each other. Now, everywhere that I'm gonna name, I've spent plenty of time at both, and I do have my preferences, but I wouldn't really say that I have a favorite. So starting out here in Jomtien, you've got less options, I would say, but there are still plenty of options depending on what you're looking for. I've said in some of my previous videos that Jomtien is a little bit lower speed. It's a little bit quieter over here, but coming with that, everything is a little bit cheaper. So if you cruise down Beach Road right here, you will find a few bars down the road. It's nothing like Beach Road over in Pattaya. It is a little bit more limited, but if you head down to Soi 7 and cruise up, it's a nice little split of cafes as well as some bars. You can go down there, there's some ladies that can take care of you. There's a little bit of everything, which is nice. It's a little bit more laid back, therefore it's a little bit cheaper. And if you go all the way up past Soi 7, there's a place that's actually super comparable to another spot that we're gonna talk about later in the video. But you go all the way up Soi 7, all the way to 2nd Road, cross the street, and I don't really know what, I think it's Nam Phu Market. I can never remember what this one's called for some reason, but I've spent a lot of time there. There's lots of food to actually be found, which is pretty cool. And then all the way around the whole block, there's a bunch of different bars, much more laid back, just beer bars essentially. There's no places that are like really like banging music or anything like that. It's a good place to kind of just go, relax, play a little bit of pool. It's a little bit more low speed, not everything's as crowded. So if that's something you're looking for, definitely check out Soi 7. And I'm pretty sure it's Nam Phu Market that's up at the top of Soi 7 once you cross 2nd Road. Now, I would say the most comparable place to that over in Pattaya is a spot called Tree Town. Tree Town's one of my favorite spots. I really like it because it's a little bit of both. Right in the middle, there's a big market that has all kinds of food, whether you want Thai food, Western food. There's a Greek place there that I really like, so it's a really good spot to kind of like start your night, get set up, get some food in you, which is always a good idea. Don't be a rookie about it. And then if you go out from the market, cruise around the corner and go around the block, it's kind of the same vibe as we talked about in Nam Phu Market here. Beer bars, there's a couple places that have like live bands, things like that. And there's a couple more places to find food. Obviously plenty of places to get you a drink and play pool. Kind of the same market, a little bit more crowded since it's essentially right in central Pattaya, but it's still not too bad because there are plenty of spots down there. It's usually really easy to find a place to plant and kind of hang out. And it's a good place to people watch too, because you're kind of right in the middle of everything. And I think it's a good like pre-game spot. If you're planning on going to some of the other places we're gonna mention later, good spot to get started. Make sure you're fed and then you can go on your way. And price points are gonna be generally cheaper there than pretty much anywhere else we're gonna talk about in Pattaya. So as well as Soi 7 in Jomtien, there's also a Soi 7 in Pattaya, which offers a lot of the same things. If you cruise down, there's a lot of bars, there's a little bit of food. There's quite a few more bars on Pattaya Soi 7 than there is in Jomtien, so it's a little bit more party vibes. And then if you just go one street up, but don't get confused, it's a really big gap. Even though it's from Soi 7, now we're going to Soi 6, it's very different and it's a big walk. And Soi 6 is a much different vibe than pretty much anywhere else in Pattaya. Now, Soi 6 is gonna be a lot more catered to people who are looking for, let's say, somebody to hang out with. If you know, you know. Obviously, you're doing your research. It's gonna be much easier for you to just kind of look it up and see what the vibe is. YouTube doesn't really like if I go into those details too much, but it is a cool place. I know a lot of people down there personally, and I have spent some time down there. So it's a cool spot if that's what you're looking for. Just be ready. It's gonna be a much different vibe than anywhere else we've talked about before. But if that is what you're looking for, it's the perfect spot. Price points are gonna be a little bit higher there. You're looking at, you know, maybe 100 to 110 baht for a beer, then cocktails go up from there. So it's gonna be a little bit more expensive, but you're there for the environment. Now, if you do end up Soi 6 or Soi 7 in Pattaya, maybe even Tree Town, and you wanna head down to probably the most famous / infamous party spot in Pattaya. It's super easy. You can just hop on Beach Road, and then maybe you want to catch a couple roadies on the way. There's plenty of places to stop on Beach Road, and the aesthetic is always super nice. There's always a bunch of nice cars and stuff driving around, plenty of stuff to look at. And this is going to be the last cheaper spot before you really head down and get into the nitty-gritty of the place I'm sure you're probably wondering about the most. So probably the most popular spot in Pattaya, kind of goes without saying, I'm sure you probably already heard of it, is the famous / infamous Walking Street. So unfortunately, I feel like there are a lot of misconceptions about Walking Street if you've never been here before. Now granted, some things you heard are probably very true, other things are probably not. Now when you go down a Walking Street, there is seriously a little bit of everything for everybody. If you want to go to full-blown nightclubs with lasers and LED screens and full-blown DJs, that's available. If you want to go to a spot where you can hang out, have some drinks, and check out the scenery, if you know what I mean, that can happen. If you want to go to a spot and see live rock music, you can do that. And in all those clubs as well, there's a bunch of them that play different music. So generally, no matter what you like, you can find a spot. Now, Walking Street is gonna be the most expensive night out if you're going full tilt in Pattaya. These other spots, you can kind of budget a little bit smaller, but Walking Street, that's if you kind of want to go full tilt and really get into it. But it's a great place. It's a melting pot. You'll see people from all over the world, which I always think is super cool. I've met a ton of different travelers down there, which is nice. I met a ton of different Thai people, which is cool. And a lot of the places down there will cater to everybody. Unfortunately, certain bars in certain places will not let certain people in. If you're a traveler, this isn't really something you have to worry about. But generally on Walking Street, that's not really a thing. So if that's something you're looking for, Walking Street's probably the spot. As always, thank you for tuning in to Tempus TV. If you haven't yet, make sure you go down, drop a like, and subscribe if you'd like to learn more about Thailand. If you'd like to learn more about Pattaya nightlife, feel free to drop anything I may not have covered down in the comments below. I will do my best to get to it. Or you can go ahead and check out the video on screen right now, and I'll maybe answer some questions in that one for you. As always, I hope you guys have a great day. We'll catch you in the next one.